Yes, good morning, people, or good evening or afternoon, wherever you're listening around the world. 12th Man is back. The Transfer Morning Show is back, bringing you all the rumours and transfer rumours that have happened overnight and this morning. And it's starting to pick up now. There's quite a lot of news and reports for all clubs. Arsenal still haven't done anything, Gooners. What is happening? We're now at the 10th of January, I believe, and we are nowhere close to signing anyone. And there are a lot of rumours suggesting that Arsenal might not do a lot and wait till the summer. I tried to tell you all that we aren't serious, but here we are. Let's do some sponsorship stuff first of all. Let's make sure we're all involved with Reality Raffles. Make sure you're following Reality Raffles on socials. Click on the link in the description or in the pinned comment section now. 99p. Last chance today for you to get in with a chance to win £500 worth of football match day experience. And it's a choice of stadium for you. It could be the Emirates. I could see you there. It could be that you are a Man United, Man City, Spurs, Chelsea, or West Ham fan and you want to go and watch the game. You choose. If you're lucky enough to win this, please do let me know. But it's not just that prize. There's unbelievable instant match win prizes as well. There's 20 250 match day prizes as well. And there's a £20 website credit as well. If you go onto their website, you can get credits and you can put in as many raffle ticket prizes as you want. It is not just football. But for this show, we like to promote the football one. So please make sure you go over to Reality Raffles and make sure you're in with a chance of winning it. For 99p, you can't go wrong. Use the code FTM10. You get 10% off as well. It's an absolute steal. I've put a load in, so I want to get some more games as well, particularly away games. So please make sure that you do as well. All you've got to do is click on the link in this pinned comment section or in the description. Once you've done that, please make sure that you click on the Eventbrite link in the description or scan the QR code here to join us live and meet us all at a meet and greet at the Hippodrome Casino. This is London, will be live. The panelists, myself, Deji, D, Don, and Dan Lawless will be there with lead judges and other guests, as well as Sophie Nicolau from Highbury Squad. And we will be talking football. So please make sure that you're there on the 24th of January. Please make sure you scan the QR code or click on the link in the description. It is a ticketed only event. There is option of food and drink as well. So please make sure that you come and say hello to us. It would be great to meet as many of you as possible in person. And when you do come and meet me, I always say this, let me know who you are, because I won't know. Let's, for example, say who Reece Manning is, or Robert Segal is, or Richie, or Real One. I won't know any of you. So please do come over and say, "Hiya, Dan. I'm Reece Manning. I watch you all the time," or whoever you are. All right. So big up to everybody that's in the chat. I hope to see as many of you there as possible. Big up to Suj. Big up to Rich from the Suffolk Crunch. Make sure we're all following Rich, yeah? Absolute legend. The only place you want to be for Ipswich content. David King, make sure you're following David. Hello to you, Carol. I hope you are well. The Real One is here. We've got Richie, Robert Segal, we've got Reese in the building, we've got Aaron. Make sure you're going and following Aaron on our Arsenal X-Rated TV. We have also got SA Scouse up, we've got Aaron, and we've got my good old mate, Charlie. Chazza, how are you, mate? I need to come and see you soon, mate. I hope you're well. Listen, let's talk rumours, shall we? Because there's quite a lot of them that are happening. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We've got nearly 150 of you here already. Make sure we get the likes up, people. Like and subscribe. 2 buttons that are free, that means so much to the channel. Take us to the next level. So please make sure we do that. And another thank you to everyone that allowed us to hit 30k. We're almost at 31k already. You lot are absolutely mad. So please make sure the like and subscribe button is completed. Suffolk Crunch has said that the Philogene Medical has done an announcement today. Do you know what? That's a fantastic signing for Ipswich. I've got to be real. I actually re-rate the kid. I thought he was fantastic at Hull. I think him and Delat formed a bit of a partnership there as well last season. So could that happen again with Amari Hutchinson? I just like what Kieran McKenna's doing. I think the talent spot in there in the kind of age category is superb. So, yeah, I am for that signing. But let's start with this guy. I am going to say this very, very bluntly. Arsenal, you must. You must. Because apparently, Kvaratskhelia is available this month. The 23-year-old Georgian international, who is my number 1 pick for left wing, could be available. But, as usual, it is not Arsenal that are after him, or not from what I can make out. Manchester United are set to rival PSG for the Napoli and Georgian forward Kvaratskhelia. Liverpool could also move for Kvaratskhelia if Napoli would allow him to leave this month. Now, I don't know what's happened. There's obviously been some form of fallout. Antonio Conte clearly does not see him in the future of his plans at Napoli. And at 23 years old, he is elite level left winger, elite level. The goals and assists say it all. He is phenomenal. He is one of the top wingers in European football, in my opinion, and I absolutely want him. And according to reports, he's available for around £67 million or £63 million, which is less or a little bit more than we paid for Kai Havertz. This is an absolute no-brainer as far as Arsenal are concerned. Could you imagine Saka, Odegaard and Kvaratskhelia, the service that our striker that we clearly aren't going to get in January, that we might get in the summer, is going to receive? This guy is a baller, and it absolutely has to get done. This is a player that must be in for as your Arsenal Football Club. And I can see why Liverpool, Manchester United, PSG and other clubs are circling, because if he is available for that much, it is an absolute steal. To think that you could get Victor Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia for a combined 125 million, it is an absolute steal for both of them. And if Arsenal don't act for either of those players in January or in the summer, if they become available, we are absolutely unambitious and not serious, because those are the sort of players that we need to be looking at. Remember 2 years ago when Napoli won the league, Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia scored all of their goals. Those two are brilliant players. You know what will happen? Chelsea will get them both. That's what will happen. Chelsea will end up with them both. It's the sort of club they are. I don't care. Their owners just go, slap them money down. They're good, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Right, go on and go and get them. I've heard they're good. Stan Kroenke's like, no, you got Sterling. You got Sterling. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. This player is a must. And I said, the two players I want, if I could pick any player positions, it would be a left winger. It would be him, Kvaratskhelia, and my striker would be Isak. Put those two into Arsenal, we have an unbelievable chance of still winning the league this season. But no, we won't. We won't. Kvaratskhelia will end up leaving for a cheap amount of money, and Arsenal will just let it happen, because that is what Arsenal do, people. Anyway, we're not going to come on to Arsenal. We're going to come on to them in a bit. We're going to talk about Marcus Rashford, because apparently there are a lot of clubs that are interested, but it is looking likely that AC Milan are the team that are favourites to get him. Como, with old Cesc Fabregas at the wheel, doing a very good job, by the way. They're also interested. But there are a number of Serie A clubs that want him. AC Milan and Como are just two. They're interested in signing Rashford for the remainder of the season. And there's a lot of talk that it could be on loan. That's coming from Gianluca Di Marzio. A lot of people believe that he is not so reliable, but I don't like to point fingers to say that you're good and you're not so good. I just read out the rumours and see as a discussion about what we think is going to be happening. Look, Marcus Rashford has also shown some interest from Premier League clubs, and West Ham are the latest. They have asked to be kept informed of the availability of English forward Marcus Rashford, and would be interested in taking the 27-year-old on loan from Manchester United. That's come from Talk Sport. I just am so glad that Arsenal are not in for this guy, because if I said to you now, flip a coin, which one do you think, Rashford or Kvaratskhelia? Everybody would say, let's go and get Kvaratskhelia. Arsenal would be the club that went and got Rashford. That's how mad Arsenal Football Club are, in my opinion. Look, I think Rashford and AC Milan looks to be quite progressed or in advanced stages. So I think that he probably will end up going to AC Milan on loan. I don't know what that means for Rafael Leao, because he obviously plays on the left wing for AC Milan at the moment. So maybe they're looking at giving Rashford a new position. Maybe they're looking at playing him up front, or maybe they're going to change or sell Rafael Leao. I don't know. I don't believe Marcus Rashford will do well in the Premier League. I think he needs to go abroad. I think personally the perfect fit would be Borussia Dortmund. You know what they do with young English players over there. I know he's not so young anymore, but you get my drift. You Jude Bellingham and Jadon Sancho and what he's done with Haaland over there, they've always looked to be a good fit. And I think he might be able to revive some of his career over there, but we'll see what happens. I agree with Rich. Rashford needs to get away from the UK, get his head down and play football. Too much of a circus around him at Man United. Look, I actually believe that, although I do believe that's true and there is a circus around him at Man United, I don't actually think the player is as rated as what people say. I think he's a very good player. I don't think he's an elite level player. I don't think he's got it up there. I don't think he's got the elite mentality to go to be that next level. You know, people come on the scene, people were saying they've got a new Thierry Henry in their hands, and I thought, wow, what an insult to Thierry. Crazy. Let's talk about this centre-back because I'm a big fan of what I hear over there. Vitor Reis is a player who looks as if he is going to Manchester City. Manchester City are looking at a deal to sign him. He's only 18 years old. The Brazilian defender from Palmeiras, according to The Athletic, is looking like he's on his way to Manchester City, are working on a deal to sign him. Now, there were other clubs looking at him. Arsenal were one of them, and I really did quite like the sound of him. I thought it was perfect sort of cover for a Saliba or a Gabriel. Brighton were also interested. Now, that fills a lot of people with excitement when as soon as you mention Brighton being interested in a young player, everyone's ear pricks up. Wow, he must be good. Because look at what's happening with the likes of Caicedo, Bissouma, and now Baleba, who people are now saying is potentially better than both of those put together. It's absolutely crazy. What Brighton have done is scary. And when they want a player, they must be pretty good. And it looks like Vitor Reis is the next one on the list to be coming up and making the kind of Saliba and Lenny Yoro comparisons. So maybe he's the next one. He's coming out of Brazil. He's only 18 years old, so he's clearly got a lot to learn. But Manchester City are being linked with him very, very highly. So let's see what happens with that one. Let's also talk about this next rumour, which is something I think Arsenal should actually be all over, by the way. Douglas Luiz, we know what he did at Aston Villa. He's gone to Juventus. There's been some form of falling out, and he has not hit the ground running over there. Aston Villa are interested, that's for sure. Manchester City are being spoken about because he did actually start his career at Manchester City as a youngster. Arsenal definitely interested, or were at least, last time Douglas Luiz became available. I think this is a very good signing for Arsenal. I think it solves the 6 and the 8. I think he can play in both. He's Premier League proven. He's a good age at just the age of 26. He's a Brazilian international. But Nottingham Forest have inquired about a loan deal. Now, if you can get him on loan, that is an unbelievable bit of business, maybe with an obligation to buy. And Edu is now over at Nottingham Forest, isn't he, with Marinakis? So I think this could be a very, very good opportunity for Nottingham Forest. However, the Brazil midfielder is also on the radar of Manchester United, Manchester City, and Fulham. Look, if he's got an opportunity of those clubs, he's probably going to want to push for Manchester City. But he is guaranteed first-team football at Nottingham Forest. Is he guaranteed at Manchester City? Probably at the moment. Yeah, he probably is. And maybe he wants to go and play for Pep. Maybe he wants to go back there. But he has already been at Man City and they did kind of sell him. So does he think, don't really want to go back there? Or does he believe that that's the best option for him right now? And people have got to be real when I say this. This isn't me being bitter. Players are going to have to actually look at what's going on at Manchester City's future with this 115 hanging over. Does a player want to go and sign a 4-year deal at Manchester City right now? I wouldn't if I was a footballer because I don't know what's going to be happening. They could be playing in the Championship or League One. They could be given points deductions. They could be given transfer embargoes. Pep's not going to be here forever. I don't think it's the place to go long term right now. So that's all I would say. Yeah, Douglas Luiz, I think would be a fantastic signing for anyone, if I'm honest. 26 years old. I can't believe that Manchester Villa actually got rid of him, to be fair. Now, look, their midfield, as much as I'm sure they would welcome him back, they don't actually need him when you look at their midfield. Boubacar Kamara, they've got Onana, they've got Tielemans, they've got Jacob Ramsey, they've got Buendia, they've got Ross Barkley. Do they actually need Douglas Luiz? I mean, no one will not need Douglas Luiz, but let's just be real. I think he'd be a good signing. I really do. I really do. Let's talk about our old goalkeeper, shall we? Because he is being linked with a move yet again. And at the moment, it looks as if the Southampton and England goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale, at the age of 26, is being tracked by Newcastle. Newcastle at the moment have got goalkeeper problems. They've got Dubravka in goal in the moment. They've obviously got the young lad they bought from Nottingham Forest. And they've also got Pope when he's fit. But that last bit, when he's fit, is starting to prove that doesn't happen very much. Aaron Ramsdale would actually be a good signing for Newcastle. I've always said it. I don't think it's an elite level goalkeeper, but he did brilliant for Arsenal. I think he's better than what Newcastle have got. And at the age of 26, he's still got a lot to learn and a lot to grow. I do believe that he is a good goalkeeper. And I will say this, I think he got a hell of a lot of stick. I don't think he deserved anywhere near the amount of stick. The problem with Aaron Ramsdale is he's been relegated literally everywhere he's been. He's going to get relegated this season with Southampton. He's already been relegated with Chesterfield, Bournemouth and Sheffield United. You really don't want to be Aaron Ramsdale at the moment when he's going to 4 clubs and they're all getting relegated. But that doesn't mean he's a bad player. It does not. I honestly believe he'll be a very good signing. And Rich, I agree with you. I think Ramsdale in the summer instead of Muric would have been a good move for Ipswich Town. I really do. So, yeah, listen, that's the one it is. You're saying the link for the Hippodrome isn't working. Make sure you scan the QR code then, and I'll make sure I update the link. It might be that the link has been changed because I know Sam's playing around with it. So if the link is not working, make sure you scan the QR code. All you need to do is scan the QR code now. So make sure that you do that, please, people. There it is. You can scan the QR code there if you do want to join us. That is probably the easier way, to be fair, and it will take you straight there. Lovely. Thanks for that as well. Please let me know. If you have any problems like that, please do let me know. So big up to you for that. I really appreciate it. Let's talk about this guy, Harvey Elliott. Apparently, he's wanted. Liverpool and England midfielder Harvey Elliott is attracting interest from Brighton and Borussia Dortmund. Now, he's only 21, and I do think this guy's got an incredibly high ceiling. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's an absolute baller. I think he can play in a number of positions. The versatility is quite incredible. He is at the moment really a backup to Salah, and he's also a backup to Szoboszlai or Curtis Jones. Doesn't seem to get as much game time as perhaps he wants. And at 21, he kind of needs to be playing now. When you're that much of a talent, I do think you need to be playing. Maybe a loan deal would be something that Liverpool be interested in. I don't think they want to sell him, but Dortmund, I think, would probably be more of an option for him to try and get a new challenge out there. I do think, however, he would take Brighton to a next level. I think he'd be a fantastic signing for them. So watch this space with that one. Let's see what happens. I'm a fan of Harvey Elliott, though. I think he's a good player. I really do. Let's talk about Tariq Mitchell, a player that's going to be free at the moment in the summer. It's a player that I've always quite liked. He's 25 years old, and the Palace left-back is wanted by several Premier League clubs, and the England fullback's also been scouted by Atletico Madrid. That's coming from the Mirror. So he is definitely a player that's wanted. At the moment, he can go for free in the summer, from what I understand. So it's quite easy for him to have a little bit of a chat with some clubs in January. Apparently, according to Crystal Palace fans, he hasn't been quite the same this season, but you'd probably imagine it's because he doesn't really know where his future lies. And I think sometimes that can unsettle you. You know, the biggest thing in football is confidence and being reassured that you're that guy that they want. And I don't think Crystal Palace have done enough to reassure him that they want him to stay. Maybe they do. Maybe they do want him. I like him. I'm a big fan. Don't know that he's first teamer at Arsenal, if I'm honest with you, but I think he'd do very, very well at a team in and around the level of kind of a West Ham, or maybe even a Nottingham Forest might be looking at him, somebody like that now. You know, they want to be strengthening in depth now. So, yeah, maybe Bournemouth might look at him because there's a lot of rumours that Kirkes could be going. In fact, there's a lot of rumours about Bournemouth players this morning, actually. Apparently, there's 4 Bournemouth players that are attracting interest from top Premier League clubs. We've got Zabarnyi, we've got Kirkes, Semenyo, and Dean Howson. And to be fair, they're 4 of their best players. They don't want to be losing them. Not after the injury news that they've got for what's his name, Evan Nilsson, and Unal as well, who both of them are looking like they're going to be out for quite a long time. So, yeah, watch this space. Let's talk about Andreas Pereira, because he's a player that's gone to Fulham and I think has been very, very good, to be fair, and he would be attracting some interest, I imagine. But it looks as if it's over in Brazil. Fulham have received an improved offer of £20 million from Palmeiras for the 29-year-old Brazilian midfielder Andreas Pereira. That's coming from the Mal. I don't think they want to sell him. I think they'll probably want more than £20 million. And I don't know why he would go back over there when he's at that age. I think he needs to be playing for Fulham at first team. I think he's one of their better players. I really quite like him. I think he's a good midfielder. And Fulham at the moment are a team that no one's speaking about. I don't know why people don't want to mention Fulham and how well they're doing. They don't want to mention Marco Silva and how he would definitely attract some interest from the top level clubs. I think a lot, as we heard from Emilio last night, of Fulham fans are talking about their kind of worry that Marco Silva may jump ship and go to a club like Spurs. If it was to all go wrong, I think it'd be a great appointment for Tottenham. However, what I will say is Marco Silva, stay where you are. Look at what happens to Tottenham managers. Look at what happened to Nuno. Look at what he's doing now. Look at what happened to Conte and Mourinho. They won everywhere apart from that club. And look at what's happening to Ange Postecoglou. It's not a good omen to be the Spurs manager. But maybe I'm saying that because I'm a gooner. Make sure you do me a favour and hit the like button, people. There's nowhere near enough likes. We're not even at 100. Not even at 100. And there's over 500 of you in here. Come on, man. All you got to do is hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, come on, people. It's easy to do. Okay. The next rumour is West Ham. And this would be a very, very good signing. West Ham have been offered the opportunity to sign the 24-year-old Canadian striker, Jonathan David from Lille. Give Me Sport are suggesting that West Ham might be interested. And at 24 years old, he's a player that's been on fire now for about 3 or 4 years. I think he was over at Genk when he first joined. Obviously, he's a Canadian striker. I think he could be an excellent signing for West Ham. And it's the sort of striker I think West Ham need. There's a lot of suggestions that Evan Ferguson on loan could be another option for West Ham just because of Graham Potter going there. He's obviously been confirmed as their new manager, and he's the ex-Brighton manager who obviously had a bit of kind of gave Evan Ferguson his chance, I believe. So maybe there's an opportunity for Evan Ferguson to go on loan to West Ham. But I do think Jonathan David would be an excellent signing. And to be fair, Manchester City and Arsenal were loosely linked with him because they were so desperate for a forward. Obviously, City are desperate to back up Haaland. Arsenal were just desperate for any attacker. So it was reported that Arsenal might be circling as well. But I don't think we are. I just don't think we're going to get a striker. I just don't think we are. I think we're going to stick with Havertz and Jesus. I think we're more than likely to get a wide forward, and we're even more than likely to do absolutely nothing until the summer. Let's see what happens. Big up to every single one of you. Let's move to Arsenal, shall we? Because there are some reports, and it is this guy, Brian Mbuemo. Yesterday, we reported that we are interested, and it looks as if that is not going away. At the moment, it is, of course, Arsenal that are looking like they are after him. Manchester United, however, have joined the race. United have joined Arsenal in the race to sign the Cameroon forward Brian Mbuemo, who's only 25 years old, from Brentford. That's according to the Mirror. Manchester United and Arsenal both looking at this player. Now, it's very interesting to me because if Brian Mbuemo is serious about leaving Brentford, where would he go? People would say he'll choose Manchester United because he's guaranteed first-team football. But actually, at the moment, he's guaranteed first-team football at Arsenal because Saka's out for the majority of the season. The problem you've got is when Saka comes back, where does Brian Mbuemo play? Does he move to the left? Does he go up top? Or does he become a squad player? And I think that's what Arsenal need. Brian Mbuemo would be a very, very good player for Arsenal. Really, really good player. So let's see what happens there. Manchester United, however, of course, he would walk straight into their first team. It's not like they're playing a right winger that's absolutely electric. I know they've got Amad Diallo, who signed a new deal, but I'm sure they could do something with him as well in a number of positions. So it could be very interesting. We need strength in depth, and Mbuemo would be one of those players. Let's talk about Alexander Isak then, shall we? Because apparently Arsenal can't afford him. Well, let's be real. Newcastle fans have been trying to tell us that for quite some time. Arsenal cannot afford the British record. Let me start again. Arsenal cannot afford the British record transfer fee that it would take to sign the 25-year-old Swedish striker Alexander Isak from Newcastle this summer. That's coming from the Mail, suggesting that Arsenal are not in a position in this window or in the summer to sign Alexander Isak. Well, we know what that means. That means the Cronkies are not interested in supporting or showing any ambition. That's the first thing it means. The second thing it means is he's way too much. Because let's be real. As much as I can appreciate that Newcastle are demanding that they want 150 million, it's crazy money. The guy's won nothing in football. Yeah. I can understand why Real Madrid were told they had to pay 150 million for Kylian Mbappe after winning league titles and World Cups. But let's just be real. Alexander Isak, in real talk on transfer market, is probably about 75, 80 million pounds. So that means if you're paying over the odds, then 100 to 120 million is about right. When you want him more on top of that, you start to question how much of it is actually a waste of money, particularly when he's an injury-prone player. Look, I think our striker is going to be Sesko in the summer. I've said that for a while. I don't want him, but that's who I think we'll get. I don't think Alexander Isak will be an Arsenal player. I just have to be real. What I would love to see is us to go and release the clause of Victor Osimhen or Victor Gyökeres this summer. That's what I'd love to see. Sorry, this January. And then in the summer, look at it again. But I don't think we're going to do that. I really, really do not think we're going to do that. There are reports and rumours, however, that Zinchenko could be on his way out. There's a lot of talk about Inter Milan and links. It says through the Mail that the Ukrainian fullback Zinchenko at 28 could leave the Gunners this month. Inter Milan are interested. Now, this is a strange one because Inter Milan are a team that are very well drilled and very good defensively, and Zinchenko is not good defensively. Yes, he's quite comfortable on the ball, and I do believe that he's versatile enough to play in midfield, but I don't think he's comfortable at left back. So for me, I'd be stunned if Inter Milan were to play him there. Maybe they look at him in a different position. Maybe they want some strength and depth in their midfield. They've got Barella, but I'm not sure who else they've got in there at the moment. So for me, Zinchenko would probably be a squad player if he went to Inter Milan. What are we going to get for Zinchenko? I would sell him, but how much are we actually going to get for him? Is he going to be someone that we get for around sort of 20 million mark? Is it going to be less than that? I'd imagine they probably want to pay between 15 and 20 million. I don't think they want to pay much more than that. You've got to respect and appreciate what Zinchenko has won in the game, but you've also got to look at the fact that he's not getting the Arsenal side at the moment. So we can't demand the 28 million that we bought him for. We're going to have to at least half that, in my opinion, or at least knock some off. But look, if it was 15, 20 million, then I probably would sell him. But then it begs the question, who are we actually bringing in then? Because if Zinchenko's going and Tierney's going and Kivior wants out, what are we doing in our defence? We need strength in depth. If we've got players like, in other positions leaving, we need to be buying players in, right? That's the way I see it. Let's talk on Leandro Trossard because there's a lot of rumours suggesting that he's rejected a new contract offer at Arsenal that would see him extend his deal, which runs out next season. So he's only got the rest of this season and one more, Trossard, which means in the summer we're going to have to sell him. And he's not going to be going for very much. And I think that Saudi Arabia might be the place for him to go because they're the only way we're going to get any money and give him any sort of decent wages. At the age of 30, which he will be, I don't really know what team is going to want him to play first-team football because he clearly wants to not be a squad player. And I just think that's what he is at the elite level. I don't think Trossard's a starter. I think he's a very good squad player to bring on. He's one of the best 12th men to bring on. You bring him on, he normally scores. At the moment, Arteta is starting him, and he ain't doing it. He is not doing it. Would you sell Trossard? Let me know in the chat. I probably would in the summer. If he doesn't want to sell and he doesn't want to be here and he's rejecting our offers, we haven't really got much of a choice, have we? We're going to have to. A lot of people suggesting that's correct and he does need to be binned. We'll see. We will see. Right. Let's talk about this guy. Apparently, Gabriel Jesus, we could listen to offers in the summer. It doesn't come as any surprise. He's not a starter anymore. At the moment, he's kind of playing a little bit of here, there and everywhere. He's played in the 9. He's played in the right wing. He's played on the left as well. I think he's a great squad player to have. But on 265 a week, you kind of need those sort of players to be stepping up and starting and scoring your goals. And although Jesus has found a little bit of a purple patch, I'm not sure how much of that will be consistently continued throughout the rest of this season. I do think he is a definite right-sided player. At the moment, he would play and he would start. He would be my right winger at the moment as Saka is out, even when Neri is out. For me, it now has to be Gabriel Jesus. So maybe he can get a run of games and try and revive some of his career. But according to reports, Arsenal are willing to listen to offers in the summer. I think both Jesus and Trossard could be off. And I think if we were to lose both of them, well, what do we do? Because we already need players at the moment on top of what we've got. We're going to lose potentially Sterling, Jesus and Trossard all in the summer. Do Arsenal then need, 4 attackers? It's not looking good, people. It's not looking good. There's also rumours surrounding Thomas Partey that actually he might not sign a new deal. His contract is up in the summer. There's a lot of politics at the moment around this and off the field stuff, which I do not want to get into. I never mix football and politics. I don't think we should. But what would you do? Would you keep him? Would you get him to sign? He's been our best player this season, in my opinion. He's been an unbelievable number 6 for Arsenal. Do we keep him or do we get rid of him? And I think we are looking at the moment to have a talk about his future. If we do extend, he can't go on the 250k a week that he's on. He needs to drop that to like 150 and see his days out here, or he needs to go and have another challenge at the age of 30 to 31. Maybe he wants one more go at a Champions League club somewhere. So we'll see. The other player, of course, is Jorginho, whose contract also runs out in the summer. Jorginho was offered to Palmeiras, and the Arsenal midfielder's reps has already met with the Brazilian club, which means that I believe he's out of the door in the summer. I don't think we're going to keep hold of him. There were rumours and suggestions that we keep hold of Jorginho and we put him in some form of coaching role. I don't think that looks like it's going to happen from what we hear. It looks like Brazil are interested. Maybe he is too. Look, I think he's done well with Arsenal. I've got to be real. I think both players have been good signings. I know a lot of people say that Partey's been a miss because he's been injured for majority of it. But let's just be real. When we have seen him play, he has been phenomenal for Arsenal. And he is one of our best players when he's fit. Jorginho, likewise, can come on and be a good squad player. I think every time that he has been brought on, he's balanced the midfield. He's kept things calm. He's a great passer of the ball. And he does his job. And there's been times where we need him in elite games. You know, I think of the performances last season against Manchester City and Liverpool at home. Jorginho was our best player. Playing in that double pivot with Declan Rice, I actually want to see it more this season. I think that's probably the only way that we can actually balance our midfield this season when it's been so poor, is to actually allow a double pivot of Declan Rice and Jorginho at times. Now, I know that's quite harsh on Partey, but I couldn't believe that we were seeing Partey at right back and we weren't going with that. Surely that would be my next option, right? Instead of playing Marino in this 8 role, which I don't quite get, or playing Rice in this 8 role, which I don't quite get. Surely you play that double pivot. And actually, if I'm honest with you, I actually do think we need a double pivot anyway. I think that should be our first thing. I think we should be playing at the moment 4-2-3-1. And I think Rice and Partey should be that double pivot with Ødegaard floating around the 10 so he can go towards the left and the right. Because otherwise, you just got Ødegaard stuck on that right-hand side with Saka. And when Saka isn't there, nothing happens. So Ødegaard has a worse game. That's what I'm looking at. So look, there's a lot of people talking about what Arsenal might need. I think everybody in their right mind knows that Arsenal need a striker and a left winger. That's what everybody wants. And if I'm honest with you, Emmanuel Petit was right. Emmanuel Petit was right. A lot of people have laughed at it and said, oh my God, it's really out of order. And do you know what I hate about Arsenal fans at the moment? Every time someone says anything towards the negative of Arsenal Football Club and where they're at the moment, oh, they're negative. They're toxic. You don't want to hear from them. Fans and now players. I'm hearing Thierry Henry come out and question where Arsenal are going on Monday Night Football. Oh, he's toxic and negative, Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry, one of the biggest legends at the club. Or is he just saying it how it is? I've had Tony Adams before saying, oh, they signed Unai Emery and Arteta. Maybe they should have done it the other way around. Oh, he's toxic. You don't know what he's talking about, that Tony Adams. Tony Adams, we've got a statue of him outside the ground. What are you talking about? And then, my favourite, Paul Merson. Anything that he says, oh, he's clueless. He don't know what he's talking about. He can't even say the names of players right. Roy Keane says it how it is. Man United fans don't like it. Well, maybe he's just saying the truth. Maybe he knows what it's like to win, and maybe you're miles off it. Maybe these players I've just mentioned, Thierry Henry, Emmanuel Petit, Tony Adams, Paul Merson, all won titles with Arsenal and know what it's about. Maybe, just maybe, that's the case. And now you look at my favourite, and this is one of my favourites. Emmanuel Petit. Nobody likes him. Toxic, negative. He said horrible things about Arsenal once. Yeah, he's a double winner from 1998, and he's also won World Cups with France. He knows what he's talking about, mate. Yeah, and this is what he said. Emmanuel Petit said, Arsenal don't just need a striker. They needed at least 3 or 4 more players last summer. Facts. They needed a left winger, a striker, and an attacking midfielder. This January market's tough, though. It'll be very hard to find good opportunities to sign good players for a reasonable price. Bingo. Hit the nail on the head. I can't believe that we're talking about this in a negative light. He's just telling absolute facts. We do need, potentially a right winger cover for Saka, a left winger starter, a number 10 cover for Odegaard, and a starter in number 9. That's 4 positions. Yeah. Some people are saying we need another midfielder. Yeah. So that's 5. And then we've got potentially issues at the back in our cover. So that's 7. So there's 7 players potentially. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Like, let's be real. There's a lot of people that just need to say it how it is. And we're still, in a position where 5 years in, £750 million spent, we still need 7 players. Now, some people will say, well, that's obvious because it's just evolving and that's what happens. Cool. So stop saying we're in a process then, because the process is done. Yeah, it's done. It's simple for me. We don't sign anybody. I'm looking at the owners. I'm looking at the board and the owners and asking why. Because everyone can see Arsenal need players. Everyone can see it. So look, it's one of those. I need to look at some actions. Mikel Arteta said 2 years ago, Arsenal need to maximise every single window. If Arsenal need to maximise every single window, then this is a window that's open right now. There's a window of opportunity. Bukayo Saka's got a long-term injury. Ben White is still not fit. Tomiyasu is still not back yet. We've got players at the moment that are looking very, very tired. Havertz looks knackered. Declan Rice looks knackered. We've got players like Trossard and Martinelli that have fallen off a cliff. We've got issues at the moment at left-back still. Now, every time I look, Arsenal will link with another goalkeeper and another left-back. We do not need any more left-backs or goalkeepers. We might do in the summer, but right now, no. Let's just make do with what we got. Let's make do with Raya and Neto, and let's make sure make do with Calafiori, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Zinchenko, Timber who can play there. Let's just make do, yeah? Let's stop this nonsense. How many left-backs are we going to have? My goodness, how many left-backs are we going to have? When we had Kieran Tierney, we've had Zinchenko, we've had Nuno Tavares, we've had Timber, Tomiyasu's played there, Kivior's played there, Calafiori's now come in, we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly. That's 8. You're telling me we need another left-back after the 8 that we've had there? Goalkeeper's another one. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy. So look, people are asking me, are we in a position where we were with Arsene Wenger, where everyone's overpaid and overpriced and hard to get out the club? Yes, we are. Yeah. Because it's going to be hard to sell Jesus now because he's on 265 a week. It's going to be hard to get any money for Thomas Partey because he's out in the summer. So is Jorginho. They're both on ridiculous wages. Kai Havertz is on 290k a week, people. Kieran Tierney and Zinchenko are on 175 a week. They ain't going to get that at another club. So this is where we're at. We've cleared out all the crap. Kolasinac's, Mustafis, Socrates, David Luiz, Ozil's, Aubameyangs, Guendouzi's, Torreira's, Bellerin's, all these guys that were on crazy money, and we've just replaced them with more people that are on crazy money. Let's be real. Let's just be real. Big up to Suze. Make sure you like and subscribe, people. He says, I'm happy for Partey to leave. Bring in David Luiz. Get rid of Trossard, Zinchenko and Jesus. But we won't bring in anyone except a keeper and a dog called XG. I love that. I love that, Suze. I love that. Look, I don't believe we're going to get rid of anybody massive in January. I don't think we're going to sign anyone massive in January. I think we'll make do. I think David Ornstein is bang on with what you've said. You know, we saw this the other day. Where is it? What was reported? Here it is. David Ornstein says, I think by and large that they're going to go with what they've got, which again will not be music to the ears of many fans who are baying for signings as Arsenal look to compete for a trophy that many feel that Arteta needs to deliver. That's come from The Athletic. David Ornstein is very, very reliable, and he's saying that he doesn't believe Arsenal to do much, and he's going to do what we can with what we've got. Now, Arteta keeps using this frustrating phrase in every single press conference he's talking in at the moment. Internal solutions. That's the two words. Internal solutions. That's the next word we've got. Yeah? That's the next one we've got with process and project and phases and structure and mentality. All these words. Now it's internal solutions we're trying to find. How did that work when Ødegaard was out? Terribly. The internal solutions was to play Trossard there, ignore Ethan Nwaneri, and just keep going with Trossard there, and it didn't work. How did that work with the internal solutions? Poorly. Yeah? How's it working at the moment without Saka? Internal solutions. Poorly. It's just the way it is, people. It's just the way it is. But unfortunately, we've got Mikel Arteta who believes that he is now the next shield for the Cronkies. That's what I honestly believe. He's the next shield for the Cronkies. Arsene Wenger was. He said they are the best owners in sporting, in the world of sport, or something like that. The best sports ownership in the world. There we go. That's what he said. The best sports ownerships in the world. Are you crazy? Have you seen what they've won around America? They've like one and done, mate. LA Rams, Super Bowl, one and done. Colorado Rapids, Denver Nuggets. Now it's Arsenal's turn. Stan Kroenke we never hear from, by the way. This is Josh's little project, Arsenal. That's what it is. Yeah. They are not the best sports owners in the world. What is he talking about? Now, I couldn't tell you who were, but I can tell you that they aren't. Because brilliant owners to me are owners that dominate. Let's just take football. Manchester City ownership. Perfect ownership. They dominate the sport. Roman Abramovich, the best owner ever, dominated football with Chelsea. Don't tell me Cronkies are in that level. Do not tell me that the Cronkies or even FSG are at that level. They're very similar. I actually think FSG are better than Cronkies, right? Because look at what Liverpool have won in their project and their phase and their regime. Since FSG have been there, they've won Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, FA Cups, near to quadruples, cup doubles, domestic cup doubles. Arsenal, we've got a flutter of FA Cups since the Cronkies have been involved. And I'm talking about not them in total ownership, by the way. They've won nothing since they've been total owners. But when they've been majority shareholders and when they were actually involved in Arsenal right at the very start in 2008 onwards, yeah, in that 10-year period between 2008 and 2018, they won 4 FA Cups. No, 3 FA Cups, weren't it? Anyway, whatever. Let's just be real. There is absolutely no way anyone can sit there and tell me that the Cronkies are good owners. Big up to Hassam in the chat. Yeah, he's been calling these owners out for ages. Big up to Hassam. Make sure you're following Don Hassam if you're not already, right? Best Liverpool creator out there. FSG are the worst owners in the league. FSG out. And he's been calling this for a while. And I remember having a chat with him and I was like, why'd you hate you owners, man? Because what I can see, you're winning stuff. But when it matters, when you need to get across the line, when they need that big signing, when they need to go and get that holding midfielder, that striker that I still feel that they need, and people might laugh, but I think a number 9 is needed at Liverpool. If they was to go and get an Osimhen, if they was to go and get a number 9, I actually thought that Ivan Toney would have been a good signing for them last summer. I think it was the summer, maybe the summer before that. Because I think a number 9 who gets you 19, 20 goals is what Liverpool need, because Jota's made of glass, right? They still need a holding midfielder. Yes, lots used Gravenberch there. Why have they not got Zubimendi? Why have they not got Lavia? Why did they not get Caicedo? I still feel a centre-half is needed and a left-back's needed as well. So Liverpool still need these positions. Are they going to go and get them? Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see how ambitious FSG are. We'll see how ambitious Stan Kroenke is. Because right now, for me, I ain't filled with confidence when David Ornstein's coming out telling everyone that Arsenal ain't going to sign anyone in January. They're going to wait till the summer. Patrice Evra was right. Arsenal were just a Netflix series. There's always next season. And of course, what happens then? The fans will get irate. He's out of order. He's taking the piss out of my football club. There's a lot of these fan base that treat Arsenal like a bloody nephew. Yeah, like they've just lost a sack race in a sports day. It's taking part that matters. That's all that counts. Well done. Nah, man. Ambition, standards, raise them, demand to win. Aaron, big up to you, bro. It says onwards to 40k, bruv. Come on, 12th man. Arteta out. Listen, bro, I love for that, bro. I really appreciate everyone for getting us to 30k. 40k is, of course, the next target. If you could hit the subscribe button, we'll get there very quickly. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, please, people. There's 800 people in here. Make sure you hit the like button. And make sure you've hit subscribe to the channel. They're both free. This next super chat comes in from SG. SG says, players to get rid of Marino, Trossard. Oh, sorry. The players to get rid of are Marino. I mean, we've just bought him. Trossard, Martinelli, Jesus, Havertz, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Sterling, Odegaard. That includes Arteta and Richard Garlick. Hashtag Cronky out. So basically, SG, you just want everyone gone. You want the owners gone, you want the board gone, you want the manager gone, and you want half the team gone. You're not a fan of this process, mate, are you? That's for sure. Big up to you. I love the fact you say it how it is. There's quite a lot of fans that don't do that. So you're very much in the minority, my friend. Thank you so much for being real. That's what I hate. These fans that just go with the narrative, I can't stand it. I get so frustrated with it. Oh, you're negative. Look at where we were when we were 8th. Right? We shouldn't have been 8th. We should not have been 8th. Yeah? That's like leading a race. Yeah? You pull your hammy and now you're coming 12th. You really shouldn't be 12th. And when you get your hamstring better and you look at 5th, you go, wow, you've moved up 7 places. Well, of course, I should have been winning the race. Now, Arsenal never should have been winning the race, let me tell you that, but we should have been challenging. And now that we are challenging, people are happy with that. Oh, that's it then. He's here for years. He's done the job. No, he has not done the job. We did not move to the Emirates to come second every year. We did not move to the Emirates to pick up a few FA Cups in 20 years. 21 years without a Premier League title. When I was growing up, we went no more than 7 years without winning a Premier League. 21 years it's been. Yeah? And people were laughing at Tottenham and Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool took 30. Oh, yeah, in that turmoil, they still won a Champions League and FA Cups. What did we do? We won a handful of FA Cups, got nowhere near a European trophy. 31 years without a European trophy. And that was the Cup Winners' Cup against Parma in 94. That people probably don't even remember. One of the first trophies I saw us win. 1993-94, we won the bloody League Cup. We haven't won it since, people. We've been dumped out of it every single time. We've been dumped out of it in the semi-final again against Newcastle. Oh, we can turn it round. We can win 3-0 at St James's Park. What, when we've had 2 shots on target there in the last 12 to 18 months? Are you lot mad? We're out. We're binned. We're gone. And we better not be binned at the weekend, by the way, which I think we will be. I don't think we're beating Man United. Pathetic. Jay says he sold 7 players on the bench, signed 2, a DM and a left-back. Facts. Absolute facts. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Sean says, question, Dan, do you think we're heading towards unrest with Arsenal fans? Protests, demonstrations, infighting amongst fans? I think that could happen in May. I don't think it's going to happen now. What I will say is I've seen a little bit of infighting already in the stadium, in the concourse, at the midweek game against Newcastle. A friend of mine who you know, Gunnar Russ, saw a big fight at Block 4. I saw a fight in the toilets. People just disagreeing. People believing we're not going in the right direction. Other people saying, trust it, don't give up yet. Look, I've got no problem with people having difference of opinions. Most of the people I speak to love Arteta. Most of the people I speak to want this process to be sticking with it and staying with the ownership and the board and the manager. I've always been different. You know, I've always questioned it. You know, I've always had concerns and raised issues about what we believe might not be the outcome. And the outcome should be that we're winning trophies. It should. The outcome of the end of this process was never to challenge. The end of the process was to win. It wasn't, wow, have you seen us lately? We're challenging. We were challenging under Arsene Wenger. Yeah? We were challenging, oh, you go back decades. Yeah, well, this guy's been here half a decade. This guy's been here half a bloody decade now. 5 years he's been here. He's not been here 5 minutes. This guy's been here for a long, long time. So, real talk. We need to deliver now. We need a trophy. It ain't going to be the Premier League. It ain't going to be the Champions League. And it ain't going to be the Carabao Cup. So we're again already got to January and we're like, well, I hope it's the FA Cup. Otherwise, he's going to finish trophyless. Now, look, we could win the league. We could win the Champions League. Of course we could. We need a bit of bloody luck. But I tell you this now, and this is factual, yeah? we don't do anything in January, we ain't winning anything. We might pick up a domestic cup if we're lucky with this squad because it's good enough to win a trophy, but it ain't good enough to win the Premier League and the Champions League right now. And that's down to ownership and board not showing ambition. And people will go, "What? They've spent 800 million? That still ain't enough. That still ain't enough." Look at who we're competing with. Look at who we're competing with, guys. Right now, this season, the reason I'm peeved is because everyone's pretty rubbish. Everyone's pretty rubbish other than Liverpool. And let me tell you this, as much as I respect what Arne Slot's done at Liverpool are nowhere near the level of what Arsenal and City were in terms of their football in the last 2-3 years. Nowhere near. So that means Arsenal should be right up there now. It's not, oh my God, look at what Liverpool are doing. It's, wow, Liverpool are pretty good, but at least Arsenal are good and they're up there with them, either ahead of them or even below them. Even if we were 2 points off of them, I wouldn't be crying right now. But we could go so far behind them, it's crazy. You know, if Forest beat them on Tuesday, they're 6 points off them. And that's if they beat Everton. 3 points off them, potentially 6 points off them. They're doing better than us. Nottingham Forest are in a position where they're doing even better than us. Big up to Guna John for the sticker, man. Appreciate it. It's crazy. Nottingham Forest are sat there right now going, oh, we're not in a title race. Oh, my God. But are we? Yeah, we kind of, I think we might be. And Arsenal and Chelsea and City are like, nah, we ain't serious. How has that happened, people? How has that happened in phase 5, as we call it? That annoys me as well. What other football club has phases? What the hell is that all about? All this PR that we've been spouted is absolute nonsense, mate. How about just win a trophy? How about just win a trophy? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Nottingham Forest, we've beaten them, by the way. And that was one of our most convincing performances at home. A very, very convincing performance against a very good side that we won 3-0 against. And they just held their hands up and said, you know what, Arsenal were better than us on the day. But look at them now. Same points as us. And if they beat Liverpool on Tuesday, wow. Absolutely mad. So look, I've got to be real. I'm not a huge fan of what I'm seeing at the moment. But football changes very quickly. And I remember this time last year, it was around Christmas, New Year, where I said, oh my God, they've lost to West Ham, they've lost to Fulham, and they're now out of the FA Cup to Liverpool. This is a disgrace. Around about 12 months ago. And we ended up missing out by 2 points in the league. So, I ask you all, are Arsenal still in a title race? Do we believe Arsenal can turn it around? The first answer to the question is yes, we are still in a title race. I don't think we're going to win it, but we are in a title race. Are we going to turn it round? We must. As Tobe said, we must. We must. I'm sorry. There's nothing else to say other than we must. And I want to see this football that's what everyone's been telling me is the best they've seen since the Invincibles. I want to see these goals scoring, the highest goals that we've seen since the Invincible season. I want to see the most points we've got since the Invincible season. That's what I want to be seeing from Arsenal. Yeah? But we've already drew too many games and lost too many for me to have confidence that it's not going to happen again. That's my problem with it. And people will say, yeah, we haven't got to go away like Liverpool. Look at this. These are the away games that we've got. And the reason it's split up like that is because it's where they are in the league, right? Arsenal have got to go to Anfield and the City ground. But other than that, Old Trafford, which is difficult, but look at where they are in the league, 13th. Then we've got to go to all the relegation places away. Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton. We've got to play all at away grounds. Then you flip over to Liverpool. Liverpool have got to go to the City ground, but they've got to go to Stamford Bridge. They've got to go to the Etihad. They've got to go to Bournemouth's ground. They've got to go to Villa Park. They've got to go to Craven Cottage. They've got to go to the Amex. They've got to go to the G-Tech. They've got to go to Goodison Park, which is different for them because it's their Merseyside derby and the last one at Goodison Park. And they've got to go to the King Power. Now, if I'm honest with you, they've got the harder away fixtures. But you know what? If people are putting these sort of things together, these graphics together to send to me, do not, Arsenal, lose any of those games down the bottom. That's all I'm saying. Do not. Do not. Do not. That's what I would say. Look, we've got some difficult home games. And it doesn't mean people talk about just the away games. Let's look at the home games as well because we ain't been good at home. I haven't been enjoying Arsenal at the Emirates this season. We only just about beat Ipswich. We couldn't beat Everton. We scraped over the line against Leicester and Southampton, to be fair. So let's be real. It hasn't been fantastic. This super chats, let's do them. This comes in from Elliot. Big up, my guy. I hope you're well, bro. Big up to you. He says the Cronkies are not about winning. They're about profitability. It's facts, bro. It's facts. They see it as, well, listen, let me tell you this. The priorities of the Cronkies right now is to upgrade the Emirates. How about win some trophies first? Yeah, I've got nothing wrong with refurbing, by the way. But upgrading to another 20,000 seats or whatever it is, how about we actually just refurb the stadium so it's nice for everyone, because it does need it looking tired, alongside going and putting in some money to the transfer window. But they want to go and get more tourists in, mate. They want to go and make more money. They want the new people coming in. That's why this balloting system's here, right? They don't want people that are like me going every single week. They want to give tickets out across the world so everyone can go there. Everyone can go and buy stuff in the shop. Everyone can go and buy food and drink. Everyone can go and take loads of pictures. Everyone can go and sit in the club level. Everyone can go and buy their food and drink. That's what they want. They don't want fans like me there, mate, the Cronkies. Not at all. Jay, big up to you. He says, we need 49 to 54 remaining points just to equal 89 points. Wow. Wow. Oh, my God. So we can drop 5 points, only 5 points until now to the end of the season. And we still only just end up on what we did last season. Wow. That's crazy. That's how bad it's been. My goodness. Good, John, big up to you. He says, we're the Arsenal, yet we've been shouting. No, we've been shooting blanks up front lately. And during most of the transfer window of the last 5 years. If I'm honest with you, bro, the last 5 years, we've not bought a striker, which is crazy. Yes, we have Jesus and Havertz. That's all I keep getting told. It's absolutely mad. It really is it's absolutely mad. How have we not bought a striker in 5 years? How have we not bought a striker in 5 years, people? It's mad. It's absolutely mad. And this is what I genuinely want to know. I'll tell you what, let's do it before we close. Let's put a poll out. All right? This is the question. I'll read it out to you. This is the question. Why have we not bought a proper number 9? Question mark. Answer to option number 1. Cronkies not providing funds. Next answer. Arteta doesn't want one. There we go. Drop it in now. Polls up. Drop it in now. Let me know what you think, because they are 2 very, very, very good questions that I have no answer to. Who can tell me? Is it that the Cronkies won't spend, or is it that Mikel Arteta does not want one? At the moment, we've got around 30 odd votes. We've got around about 40 votes now. Arteta doesn't want one is 80%. So we are saying that our manager in 5 years does not want a number 9, a proper number 9. He wants a false 9 like I Havertz or Jesus. Is that what we're saying? Because that has not worked for 5 years to win us a league. So why on earth would he not want an Alexander Isak? Why would he not want? Because this is what I don't get. Did we want Vlahovic? Did we want Sesko? Or were they just nasty rumours and Arteta was like, oh, yuck, don't want them. Get them away from me. I want my Kai Havertz and Jesus up top. Because that is not going to win us the league. It's clear. It's obvious. 75% of the 80 votes is saying that Arteta does not want a striker. This is absolutely mad. Mad. There's a good point made in the chat. The funds are obviously there. That's true. So it must mean that Arteta doesn't want one then. That's what I don't get. Clearly, Arteta does not want a striker. Why? Why the hell would you look at that squad and go, I just don't see what anything else we need. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get another midfielder and a left back, and I'll try and see if Raheem wants to come. That'll do for our window. I'd rather, right, real talk, I'd rather have not signed any of them, including Neto. Yeah, I'd rather have just had Tommy Setford as our backup keeper. I'd rather have just kept the left backs that we've got, and I'd rather have just kept the midfielders that we've got and played Luiz instead of Marino. And I would rather, or just keep Smith Rowe, and I would have rather spent all of our money on Victor Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen. I think we'd be in a better position. I really do. I really do. It's absolutely crazy. So that's where we're at. Over 100 votes now, and 75% of you believe that Arteta does not want a striker, and it is not that the Cronkies are not providing the funds. That's where we're going to stop it. Listen, people, big up to every single one of you, man. There's been mad numbers. There's been well over 800 of you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, at 1 o'clock, it's going to be me and Deluded. So please make sure that you're here for that. And then at 2 o'clock, I'm over with Judge Mo. And then I believe that me and Tobes are on at 4:30. So just make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and I'll be back later. This is the last super chat of the day from Guna John. I think so, unless I've missed one, have I? Yes, I have missed one as well. There's 2 more that's come in. Stan just made the list of the 100 richest in the States, while Arsenal fans are still begging for one. I just don't understand how we're still begging for one transfer when he's just made the richest list. 100 richest in the States. Oh, makes me sick. Makes me sick. Ricky says, we're just Spurs with more trophies. Pathetic decision that the board made all those years ago, selling to capitalists. I didn't buy Arsenal for trophies. Facts, Ricky. Facts. Can you believe this guy actually come out and said that? I did not buy Arsenal to win trophies. What a fantastic thing to say to your fan base that you've just honestly, absolutely ridiculous. That's what it is. I cannot stand that kind of mentality. I absolutely hate it, in fact. I think it's disgraceful that an ownership can say, I do not want to win trophies here, thank you. No, I don't want to win trophies here, cheers. Come on. What an absolute disgrace. That's what it is. Absolute joke. But there we go. That's what we're after. That's what we've got as our ownership. People say it's not the owners. It's not the owners. They're doing their job. They're not doing their job. We haven't won a trophy in their whole of their we haven't won a major in the whole of their time. What's happening here? We haven't. Are we competing? We're competing now. Yeah, we're challenging. Let's get across the line, man. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I just, honestly, I don't get it. Listen, we're going to redirect to Hooks. Make sure that you do go, stay tuned. Go and spam his chat, man. Say 12th man, Dan Potts raid. Let him know that there's some love for him there. Suj comes in lastly with the super chat. It says, let this sink in. 225 for an Arsenal jersey from Arsenal shop. Before adding numbers, badges, and name, I'm disgusted. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous, mate. And this baseball jersey that their coat that they're all coming out in and warming up in, biggest PR merch stunt ever, is 160 quid. But if you've got your membership, it's only 150. That is an absolute disgrace, mate. Absolute disgrace. Listen, go and show Hooks some love. Big up to every single one of you that's here. Make sure you go raid his chat. 12th man sent me. Dan Potts sent me. Go show him some love now. He's live at the moment talking all things Arsenal. So go and see him over there. And we'll see you next time. Take care, people. I'll be back at 1 o'clock.